Whatever happened to Tyra Banks? Well, this is nothing to smize about. Tyra Banks, most well known for her 20-plus seasons as a presenter and judge on America's Next Top Model, has had a serious fall from grace since the show ended and her behind-the-scenes behavior started to come to light. As a previous supermodel herself, Tyra is no stranger to the press. But lately the stories about the host and TV entertainer have been more negative than positive. With accusations of abuse, diva-like behavior, and unprofessionalism both on and off set flying everywhere, what's the real story behind one of the most iconic faces from 2000s TV? What really happened to Tyra Banks? Tyra's career started back when she was only 15, and by 1993, at age 20, she began acting in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Tyra has wowed in a variety of film and television roles since then, including Life Size, Coyote Ugly, and Love and Basketball. But modeling is what Tyra has always been truly known for. Banks was the first African-American woman to be featured in Sports Illustrated and GQ, and she was one of the most famous Victoria's Secret models from 1997 to 2005. While models are a dime a dozen in Hollywood, Tyra is one of only 17 to rank as an official supermodel, alongside names like Iman and Gisele Bündchen. It shouldn't come as a surprise that Tyra's most successful project to date has been America's Next Top Model, her wildly popular modeling competition show that began in 2003. America's Next Top Model was the first show of its kind to really interest regular people in the modeling industry, and Tyra is credited as creator, executive producer, and presenter on 23 out of 24 seasons of the show. While the series started the careers of several successful models, sparked a ton of merchandise and brand deals, and made space for later shows like RuPaul's Drag Race, looking back, it's also become one of the most controversial TV programs of the time. As the modeling and fashion worlds became more inclusive and beauty standards changed, some of Tyra's modeling methods started to look a little cruel and outdated, and recently she's come under fire for multiple things done on the show that fans find problematic. Especially in the earlier seasons of the show, models were encouraged to be razor thin and willingly give up pretty much anything to become a model, including their dignity. Tyra often ran the models through horrible, humiliating challenges, and she and the other judges made disgusting comments about models who weren't up to their standard of skinny. On TikTok, fans have called Tyra and other judges of the show out for how they treated Series 1 contestant Robin, who at the time was considered plus size. On the show, Tyra and other judges discuss how Robin could never be a model with her current body type, and even drive Robin to tears by pressuring her to do a nude photo shoot and expressing their disappointment when she refused. When Robin tried to cover up her body with a towel backstage during a swim photo shoot, Tyra asked her to stop covering herself. While we're sure Tyra wasn't the only judge or TV presenter being fatphobic at the time, it's unfortunate that clips of the series show her physically degrading and humiliating women who only wanted to follow in her footsteps. Some fans wonder if it's Tyra's own previous experiences with modeling that made her like this, but that doesn't excuse the things she said about aspiring models on the show. We can't imagine how the models felt after being spoken about like this by their modeling hero, Tyra Banks. But ex-contestant Robin from Season 1 has said she plans to share her feelings about the show on TikTok soon. Unfortunately, this wasn't the only incident on ANTM that made Tyra look bad. There were also multiple times the show used blackface, which shocked fans. In 2005, a photo shoot for Got Milk had the America's Next Top Model contestants changing ethnicities and posing with a child to promote the brand. Instead of choosing ethnicities that wouldn't require the contestants to change their skin color, the models were asked to either darken or lighten their skin to match the ethnicity given to them. Several white models ended up wearing blackface for the shoot, and neither Tyra or any of the other judges seemed to have a problem with it. Since clips of the episode have been posted to TikTok, both new fans and fans who had seen the original episode have been shocked by Tyra's decision to dress white models in blackface when she was one of the first black models to be featured in major publications and Victoria's Secret. Did Tyra just not care about how the episode would come across to her black fans? Or was it the anything goes spirit of the 2000s that made her think she could get away with it? In 2020, one of America's Next Top Model's previous judges, Jay Manuel, said he was horrified by the shoot when it was happening, but that executive producers, including Tyra, made the final decisions on ideas. That same year, Tyra was forced to actually address the fans when a video where she tells Danny Evans she can't be a model with a gap between her front teeth went viral. Tyra apologized for some of the off choices she made during the show's long-running period and claimed she was sending her fans love and virtual hugs after seeing their reaction to Evans and more America's Next Top Model moments they found insensitive and cruel. While her short Twitter apology seemed to win some fans over, it wasn't enough for those who remembered even more horrible moments from the show that Tyra hasn't apologized for. In 2 separate seasons, models who had recently lost friends or family were forced to do a coffin or corpse photo shoot shortly after finding out their loved one had died. Fans of the show remarked that Tyra seemed to be trying to exploit anything in the models' lives to get them to react dramatically, and she didn't know where to draw the line. Several female contestants who had dealt with assault from men were forced to do intimate photo shoots with male models who they didn't know. Despite them feeling unsafe, Tyra and the other judges of ANTM required the models to shoot anyway. Since her apology in 2020, Tyra hasn't really mentioned the scandals of the show that keep being re-uploaded to social media. Instead, she's been focused on hosting other reality TV shows, writing books, and pursuing her own personal businesses and brands. Tyra's 3 books have all done well, with Model Land, her novel about the modeling world based on her own experience, hitting the New York Times bestseller list. While fans of America's Next Top Model may not have forgiven her, it's obvious her clout in Hollywood hasn't totally fallen apart, since she began hosting Dancing with the Stars from 2020 until March 2023. While hosting the popular dancing show, Tyra couldn't avoid haters who thought she was too extra to be a host, and her outfits distracted from the actual dancing stars on the show. Tyra responded by saying that normal is boring, which she doesn't have time for, and we can't argue with that. On top of that drama, Tyra accidentally announced the wrong couple of dancers when telling the public who was safe from elimination during season 29. The mix-up was cringy to watch on TV as Tyra had to discover and recover from her mistake live. But Dancing with the Stars producers did their best to convince fans it wasn't Tyra's fault after the fact. The dancers were probably the most shocked, since a couple who thought they were safe ended up being in the bottom 2, and vice versa. The star herself said she was given the wrong name cards to read on stage, which is how the wrong names were announced for elimination. Despite her and her producers' attempts to clear up the mess, it's rumored that most Dancing with the Stars diehard fans are happy Tyra will no longer be hosting the show. Instead, Tyra's told the press that from March 2023 forward, she'll be more focused on her personal businesses and less in the spotlight. Banks also became a mother via surrogacy in July 2016, so she's certainly got a lot on her plate at home. While the star has never been married, she's always been vocal about wanting to have children. She publicly went through 3 rounds of failed IVF, but happily welcomed a son, York, with her ex-boyfriend, Eric Asala, with the help of a surrogate. While she seems to be stepping off the stage for a while, Tyra has made it clear she still wants to work in entertainment behind the scenes, telling fans it's time for her to go from the ballroom to the boardroom with her new ventures. The star also owns an ice cream business called Smize and Dream, based on her iconic Smiling with Your Eyes instruction from America's Next Top Model. In 2019, Tyra Banks officially changed her name to Ban X and announced that the change was supposed to represent the evolving of the beauty industry and changing standards of beauty. Tyra also said she wanted to represent women who were done trying to fit into the cookie-cutter mold of what womanhood should be. Could it be that she actually did learn from her time running ANTM? Unfortunately, the name doesn't seem to have stuck, and all of Tyra's social media channels are still run under her previous name. Now that she's moving from being on screen to behind the scenes, will she use this fresh start to make a new and kinder name for herself in the industry? From the very beginning of her career, Tyra Banks has been a trailblazer, for better or for worse. While she was one of the first African-American models to reach the career heights she did, her reputation is also seriously tarnished from her time as a reality TV host and some of her more controversial public comments. It seems like the only thing that really happened to Tyra Banks was herself. What do you think? Is Tyra redeemable? Or her actions just a product of 2000s model culture? Or is she actually as cruel and judgmental as she seemed on our screens from 2003 to 2018? Would you want to see Tyra modeling and acting again? Or are you more likely to buy her ice cream line? Let us know down in the comments section, and don't forget to stay tuned right here for more true celebrity stories.